you can do, and it's free. You just go to, because the thing is that most of the time you will not get your money back in London. 25, wow. Hi all, and welcome back to a new video. Today I am talking about London on a budget, so if you want to visit London, this is the right video for you. So let's begin. The first section I want to talk about is accommodation, and you have various options here. Now I want to go with you on Airbnb and have a look. London. We're looking at this together now. Central London. And let's just pretend that we want to go next month for a long weekend. 13th to 16th. Next. 2 adults. Search. Now it shows me all the different options. What I usually do first is here you can, the price range, you can change this up to, okay, there's not much left I guess after that, up to 156. Let's have a look. This is quite good because you can have a look at what there is nearby. It's not bad. So £50. Oh, that doesn't look too good. 51. Okay, maybe I have to pay a bit more than that. Look, this for example, 66. That looks quite good. That looks alright. That looks nice. The reason Airbnb is actually quite good is because it usually allows you to use someone's kitchen as well. Well, if you have a whole flat, obviously, but if you have a room in someone's house or someone's flat, that'll be a bit cheaper, and if you're out all day anyway, you don't really need a whole flat. But if you are with Airbnb and you have access to the kitchen, make sure that you do, because not all places allow you access to the kitchen. You need to look into the details. But it allows you to do a little bit of cooking at home as well. Let's say you've had a whole day out in London and you just want to hang out back at the Airbnb at night anyway, then maybe you don't want to pay for another expensive dinner in London. And if you're with Airbnb, you have the option to use the kitchen and cook, or if you, sometimes people don't allow you the whole access to the kitchen, but you have access to the fridge and you can use the microwave and just little bits. You could just grab like a ready meal or something like this, which is still cheaper than going to a restaurant. But we are going to go into this a bit more when we talk about food. So the other option is Trusted House Sitters or House Sitters UK, I mean house sitting in general. Please use my link below if you would like to use any of these websites and you're new to them, because you get 25% off and I get 2 months free, so I would appreciate it as well. But this obviously requires a little bit more planning. I have a video about house sitting which I will put here and you can watch that after this video if you like. That's an option to have accommodation for free, but obviously you will need to look after a pet, so it's not entirely free. Then let's have a look at hotels. I'm going to put the same dates in so that we have a good way to compare it. Let's just go to hotels.com. Okay, so look, you can get 20% off if you use the app for the first time. So, no, not going to New York. London. 13th to 16th of March, exact dates, 2 travelers, 1 room, search. Now this is going to be interesting because you saw the prices of Airbnb. Okay, wait, let's bring the price a bit down. Let's say maximum 130. Done. No exact matches. Why is it showing me such expensive hotels? Because I know there's cheaper hotels than this. Oh, it's because it's not per night. Bing, okay. It's for 3 nights. Oh, I prefer if it shows me per night because I find this difficult to compare. But obviously this is 100% more expensive than 50 or 60 pounds a night. However, with Airbnb, you also have to remember the prices you see. There's gonna be two things added to them. One is the cleaning fee and one is the Airbnb fee, or whatever it's called, but it's what we looked at. You probably have to add another 20 to 30 pounds. What you really need to do is compare that and also have a look at these hotel prices. Do they include a buffet of breakfast in the morning? And just compare that a little bit. We're going to talk about entertainment now. If you want the iconic entertainment, which I would call like London Eye, Tower of London.
One thing that I forgot to mention, but I think is super important, if you go to the Tower of London, please remember that it is mostly outdoors. So if you go in winter, it's gonna be freezing.
I thought that there aren't any discounts, but I was wrong. What I didn't know, and I wish I had known this when I had people visit, is that TfL, Transport for London, actually has offers on their website. Now, you will have to check at the time that you're coming because these offers vary, but right now, TfL offers quite a range of discounts. So one of them is historic royal place palaces, not places, 2 for 1. That's really good offer. HMS Belfast 2 for 1, Kew Gardens 2 for 1, Merlin attractions. You know, I have to tell you if you don't know what Merlin attractions are. So the palaces, first of all, the palaces that are mentioned are... Oh, I don't see it here. Okay, but I know that the Tower of London is included. But the Merlin attractions are London Eye, the London Dungeon, Sea Life Aquarium, Madame Tussauds, which is really fun, and Shrek's Adventure. Now this offer only applies if you use an Oyster. So if you use your contactless payment card, this offer doesn't apply to you. To get this offer, you need to use either a regular oyster or a guest oyster. I don't really know what the difference is, to be honest. Is the guest oyster maybe cheaper? Because I know the regular oyster costs £7 and you used to be reimbursed for that if you gave it back at the end of your stay, but I think they don't do that anymore. These offers, I think, are really amazing. And then I tried to find a few other entertainment options that weren't too pricey. And so first of all, churches. Most churches will have evensong and you don't need to pay a ticket. So you can even go to Westminster or to St. Paul's Cathedral, which I had no idea about. I looked it up for you and I want to do this at some point. So let's look at St. Paul's Cathedral. Look, so they have the choral evensong every day at 5 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Sundays. It's free and unticketed. So that's really cool, I think, because you get to see a bit of St. Paul's for free and you can enjoy the evensong. If you want to see more of St. Paul's, you need to look at the ticket prices, but it's a nice free offer. Then the other idea I had for you is City Academy. Now everything I say here is not sponsored, by the way. City Academy is a company for people who live in London and they offer acting classes, singing classes, and so on and so on. And what these people are doing this as a hobby, but they usually have a performance at the end of their term. And these performances are cheaper than West End performances. Now, if you 100% want just a West End performance, go and Google it, have a look at the prices. And there are some options to get into a musical or a theatre play at a low cost, depending on how flexible you are. But if this is something, if you just want some entertainment and you don't really care who the production is, or if you just want some entertainment, you could have a look at what's on here on City Academy, because the shows, I personally think the shows are quite good. They are fun, but they will be a lot cheaper than West End productions. Then if you were a bit thrifty, by the way, speaking of, London has a lot of really good charity shops. If you go to areas like Richmond, Putney, but not just those, actually many places in London have charity shops, and they usually have really cool selection of stylish clothes, and you will pay obviously a lot less than at the regular retailer. You don't need to go to Oxford Street and leave your money with companies that are already making a fortune. You could just spend a little bit of money in charity shops, getting something really cool and stylish, and supporting a great cause. So that's an idea. But the other idea I had was a car boot sale. There is a website called Secret London. By the way, there's lots more on this website other than car boot sale. But here, 10 of the best car boot sales. You can have a look at that and see what's on during the time that you're here. And I think it's quite a fun activity if you're up for something like that. Then we have websites like Groupon and Voucher. Now, Groupon, I haven't used myself. So if you have experience, please let me know in the comments what you thought and how it works. But I have got experience with Voucher. I have the app, and you can book experiences with Voucher. You can book restaurant visits. You can do, now we're going to talk about food a bit later, so I wasn't actually going to mention it yet. Sky Garden. Sky Garden, I have a nice picture of myself here when I went to Sky Garden. Sky Garden is a place where you have a nice view of London, but it's free. The only thing is you have to buy a ticket in advance, and you have to be quite on it. You really need to have a look at the website, and you need to be quick if you want tickets for Sky Garden. Also, changing of the guards, which I have still not done, even though I've lived here for so long. You can do, and it's free. You just go to Buckingham Palace. It's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, and it starts around 10:30 a.m. That's a pretty cool thing you can do, which is free. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, and then there's many museums in South Kensington that are free. There is the Natural History Museum. Wait, let's just Google it. Free museums in London. 25? Wow. Again, Visit London is the website I'm looking at. Oh wow, the British Museum, the National Gallery, National Maritime Museum, Victoria and Albert, Tate Modern, Tate Britain, Art Gallery, Queen's House. Wow, there's so many things. British Library, I love the British Library. Wow, there's so many things you can do for free if you like museums. I don't like museums that much, but if you do, this really is a place you can spend a lot of time at for free. And okay, let's move on to food. Now, talking about food, very important. This is when I wanted to mention Voucher. If you want to have a really nice meal at a hotel or a really nice outing, the very traditional British afternoon tea, you can use websites or apps like Voucher and get a discount. Now, I have tried Voucher, and what I want to say about it, I've had quite good experiences with it. I've had one bad experience, but it wasn't the website's fault. It was the organization who offered the service on the website. But The thing with voucher is that you have to make sure, because if you're only here for a few days, you need to make sure that you're actually able to do this, to get an appointment during those days. So you need to read the fine print, because the restaurant or the hotel will have in the fine print for when this offer is valid. Usually these offers are not valid during bank holidays and often not valid during school holidays, which is also something that is worth checking. When are the school holidays in London? Because if it's a school holiday in London, also the museums are going to be crowded. Like, the city will be crowded with all the locals, really. So I wouldn't recommend coming when it's London school holidays, but you can't see on voucher whether you'll be able to get an appointment. Now, sometimes you don't need an appointment, but what I would recommend is, if you find a restaurant that you want to use voucher with, you call the restaurant in advance. You ask if you can use the voucher on the date that you want, and if they say yes, then you go ahead and book with voucher, and if they say no, then you don't. Because the thing is that most of the time you will not get your money back with voucher. If you can't do what you booked, what they will do is they will offer to put the money back into your voucher account so you can use it to buy a different experience on voucher, but they will most likely not give you back the actual cash. So you need to be aware of that. But it's a good option. There's a French restaurant named Code. Now again, all these restaurants I'm just naming them from my experience. I'm not naming them because they pay me for it. But I find that they have quite reasonable prices, especially between Monday and Friday. They usually have a special offer, but check for that. Then I quite like Wagamama. It's a Japanese restaurant. It is on the more affordable side. Like, don't quote me on it, but meals are around £15, £14. Have a look at the menu. Toby's Cavalry is really nice to have a roast, like a traditional British roast. However, they are mostly not in central London, but if you're staying in an Airbnb, maybe you aren't really staying in central London and you have to travel into London anyway, and then it's more possible that there is one near you where you could maybe go one night. Now, the traditional thing is a Sunday roast, but I wouldn't recommend to go on a Sunday because, again, it would be really crowded. Maybe you like crowds, I really don't. Oh, the other restaurant that is quite affordable and just nice for a little treat is something that I used to call Pancake World. It's not actually called Pancake World, it's called My Old Dutch. You can get savory and sweet pancakes. It's not the healthiest option, but if you like pancakes and you want to treat yourself, it's a nice place to go. A pub that is on the more affordable side is called the Wetherspoons, but also not always in central London. And a pizza place called Pizza Union, very affordable. And then, like I said before, if you would just have an evening in, let's say you stayed in Airbnb, ready meals are quite nice from my experience from Waitrose and M&S. I know Waitrose and M&S are on the more pricier side of groceries. However, if you buy a ready meal over a restaurant meal, it'll still be cheaper. And some of the ready meals from the cheaper grocery shops are just not very nice. So if you go for ready meal, I would go with one of the better food shops. And then if you do any grocery shopping, Aldi and Lidl are the cheaper shops, but it really depends what's around because they are not in every part of the city. But you can find them. You just need to look them up and see. You can also do that in advance, obviously. In terms of coffee, even if you're just here for a few days, it might make sense to sign up for a subscription with Pret or Manger. I don't know if I say it right. And the subscription currently, may have changed by the time you see this video, is £5. With a subscription you get beverages half price. Also, there are some coffee shops that offer cheaper coffee if you have a to-go cup, which is better for the environment anyway. So if you have one, bring it along on your travel, and here and there you may be able to get a discount. Also Pret, I think most Prets have discounts if you don't get the membership. So all in all, you see that there are quite a few options to have a trip on a budget to London, which maybe you would have never thought, because London is one of the most expensive cities in the world. But there are ways to do this city at the cheaper end. If you want to know how you can do transport within London on a budget, I will link a video here, because I did a whole video. It's called, I forgot what it's called. I think use the tube like a Londoner or something like that, but I will have it here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're gonna do London on a budget, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe for more videos, and I see you in the next one. Bye!